So we did a poll and a good majority of you folks wanted a camera comparison of the Realme 9 Pro Plus against the OnePlus Nord 2 and the OnePlus Nord CE2. And your wish is our command. I'm your friendly neighborhood tech expert Ershad. You're watching Trakintech English. Let's find out how the Sonys fare against Omnivision. Now let's start with pictures of people. What I noticed is the Realme 9 Pro Plus and the Nord 2 offer much sharper features on the face. But the facial tone on the Nord 2 is more accurate compared to the Nord CE2 and the Realme 9 Pro Plus. The Realme 9 Pro Plus always spits out the most inaccurate, oversaturated JPEGs, which are great for social media, but not when we're doing a camera test. And against the light, with HDR processing, you can clearly see how the Nord CE2's picture is soft and blurry. Both the Realme 9 Pro Plus and the Nord 2 are sharper here and offer a great dynamic range performance as well. Again, the Nord 2's facial tones are closer to real life. In portraits, once again, the Nord 2 has the advantage of a fairly accurate facial tone, and it offers slightly better edge detection too. Now here I have to mention how the size of Sujay's face is not too thin on the Nord CE2 because it has a camera with a narrower focal length. The Realme 9 Pro Plus's portrait is decent too, and many people who aren't looking for a technically accurate portrait might actually gravitate towards it. So if I have to take regular pictures or portraits of my friends and family, I would probably pick the Realme 9 Pro Plus or the Nord 2 depending on the situation. Now I did have a tough time evaluating the selfies from these three phones because there's not too much to differentiate here. The sharpness is nearly the same on all the three phones, whether you're shooting in even light or against the light. And against the light, the dynamic range is very similar too. The only difference is in the skin tone accuracy, and the Nord 2 is closest to real life, which gives the Nord 2 a slight edge. However, in selfie portraits, we can definitely tell a difference. Firstly, the edge detection is better on the OnePlus phones as opposed to Realme. The Nord 2 especially does the best here once again. The 9 Pro Plus definitely misses out a few spots during edge detection. Also, when it comes to image processing, the Realme 9 Pro Plus clearly looks over-sharpened and the Nord CE2 looks soft. The Nord 2 looks the most natural here. Now, what we noticed about the sensor sharpness is true for the regular pictures of non-living things as well. As you can tell here, the IMX766 sensor inside the Nord 2 and the Realme 9 Pro Plus capture the fine texture of the book far better than the Nord CE2. And like I mentioned earlier, the Realme 9 Pro Plus's pictures are absolutely oversaturated with extremely blue skies in this specific situation and green foliage. The Nord CE2 and the Nord 2 are closer to real life in comparison. And even between these two, the Nord CE2 tends to take warmer images. If you want a more accurate color science from the JPEGs out of the box, I'd suggest that you go with the Nord 2. Now, if you've come this far and if you like the kind of camera comparisons that we do, let it be known that it takes a lot of effort for making such camera comparisons. So we would appreciate it if you guys can hit that subscribe button and maybe even the bell icon right next to it to get notified whenever we put out an awesome new tech video. Also hit that like button so that YouTube algorithm can recommend this video to more people looking for such videos. When it comes to HDR pictures though, I generally noticed that the Nord 2 was the best of the lot. In the first set of samples, the Nord CE2 does bring out a lot of information from the shadowy foreground, but the highlights are flat, dull, and lifeless. It is not a very dynamic image, and this is not the ideal way to do HDR processing in my opinion. The Realme 9 Pro Plus, on the other hand, has much darker shadows. The Nord 2 is the most balanced of the three. Now, the second set of samples further proves my findings, and therefore I feel that in HDR performance, the Nord 2 seems to be the most balanced one. But when it comes to the ultra-wide angle samples, it is the Realme 9 Pro Plus's camera that is actually tuned better than the other two. I really like the bright, dynamic, and sharp image here. The Nord CE2 looks the worst of the lot. Now in this test, yet again, I'm going to prove that 2 megapixel macro cameras suck. From my testing, you can see how terrible the 2MP macro shot looks on the Nord CE2. The 9 Pro Plus is not too bad here. But what I want to tell you here is that while I cannot go very close to the subject using the main camera, I could get fairly close using the 2x digitally zoomed image. And on this digitally zoomed image, you can see that the IMX766 is much sharper and has much higher resolution as well. In fact, you can do the same thing with the Realme 9 Pro Plus and the OnePlus Nord CE2 as well. Now, if anyone were to create a change.org petition on banning these 2MP sensors, I'd be the first one to sign it. Now, where the Realme 9 Pro Plus really pulls ahead is in low light photography using the night mode on. By the way, before I analyze the pictures out here, I had an observation to share. The OnePlus Nord 2 and the Nord CE2 take a long time to take a low light picture, but that's because it processes the picture along with the capturing part of it. The Realme 9 Pro Plus processes after you've taken the picture, picture. Anyway, coming back to the pictures, all the three phones get equally bright with night mode on, but it is the Realme 9 Pro Plus that maintains the color temperature of the whole scene here. It was actually a warm setting. Plus, it offers the sharpest textures with the least noise. The Nord CE2's image exhibits a lot of noise, and the Nord 2 does overprocessing and makes it extremely smooth. And once I switched off even that single source of light from that floor lamp, the Nord CE2 turns the scene into a soft, unrecognizable mess. The 9 Pro Plus looks so sharp, especially if you turn your eyes towards the floor. Overall, Realme has worked very hard on the Realme 9 Pro Plus's low light performance, and that's what sets the Realme 9 Pro Plus's cameras apart from any other camera under Rs 30,000. In low light shots with the ultra wide angle camera, the Nord CE2 is really bad once again. The Nord 2 and the Realme 9 Pro Plus are equally sharp, but the Nord 2 is brighter in the darker portions of the image. I don't, however, like that dull, blurry patch on the left though. Anyway, it is a toss up between the Nord 2 and the 9 Pro Plus when it comes to low light ultra wide angle shots. In low light selfies too, the Realme 9 Pro Plus is definitely the best of the three. Whether you're shooting with night mode on or without, the 9 Pro Plus looks very, very good. Surprisingly though, of the two OnePlus phones out here, the Nord CE2 is the better one. Now let us come to the most controversial part of this comparison and what most of you guys must have been waiting for, and that is OIS performance on the Realme 9 Pro Plus. Now let me break it down for you in easy, clear to understand points. Firstly, all the three phones can shoot 4K videos only at 30 FPS. Secondly, the OnePlus Nord 2 offers OIS plus EIS. Realme 9 Pro Plus offers only OIS, and OIS is not very effective as you can tell. And the Nord CE2 offers nothing. So you can clearly see the difference here with the maximum amount of shake from the Nord CE2's footage. Evidently, the Nord 2 is the best here despite the slightly cropped footage. Now, one point I also wanted to mention is that the Nord CE2 outputs BT 2020 colors, so you will see a red color cast on an unsupported display. And finally, the Nord 2 has the best sound recording with the best environmental noise cancellation as well. And the Realme 9 Pro Plus comes really close, but the Nord CE2 has zero noise cancellation.
So we're shooting a 4K 30 FPS video using the Realme 9 Pro Plus, the OnePlus Nord 2 and the OnePlus Nord CE2. We're shooting a 4K 30 FPS video using the Realme 9 Pro Plus, the OnePlus Nord 2 and the OnePlus Nord CE2. We're shooting a 4K 30 FPS video using the Realme 9 Pro Plus, the OnePlus Nord 2 and the OnePlus Nord CE2.
Now the worst part is the Nord CE2 doesn't even offer EIS in 1080p 60 FPS video recording. And here you can see how the Realme 9 Pro Plus does fantastic stabilization because there's EIS on. It is as good as the OnePlus Nord 2 here as you can tell. But the 9 Pro Plus's video quality is so terrible. It is actually worse than the Nord CE2. I really wouldn't use this footage. You also get portrait mode video recording with all the three phones, but the Nord 2 can shoot at 1080p, which gives it an immediate advantage. Apart from being detailed, the edge detection is also better. Honestly, I wouldn't use the Nord CE2 and the 9 Pro Plus for shooting portrait videos at 720p. Easily, the Nord 2 has the best video recording quality from the main camera, followed by the Realme 9 Pro Plus and the Nord CE2. In ultra-wide angle video recording, all the three phones top out at 1080p 30 FPS, but for some inexplicable reason, the Realme 9 Pro Plus offers EIS. This means the footage is cropped a lot and it doesn't look too sharp either. This makes me wonder, did Realme not add electronic image stabilization to 4K 30 FPS video recording because it couldn't maintain the quality? That could be a possibility as well. Honestly though, I wouldn't bank on any one of these three phones for shooting good ultra-wide angle video. If it cannot do a good job in daylight, it's going to be terrible in artificial lighting or low light as well. In front camera video recording, the Realme 9 Pro Plus offers EIS and that gives it an immediate advantage. Not to mention the fact that the details and facial tones look great too. Sound recording is also on par with that of the OnePlus Nord 2. The OnePlus Nord CE2 loses out to both cameras in comparison.
So I'm shooting a video using the front camera on the OnePlus Nord 2 and the Realme 9 Pro Plus. Now I'm shooting using the OnePlus Nord CE2's front camera. So I'm shooting a video using the front camera on the OnePlus Nord 2 and the Realme 9 Pro Plus.
All things considered, I feel that the Realme 9 Pro Plus and the OnePlus Nord 2 are fairly evenly matched when it comes to camera performance. Where the Realme 9 Pro Plus takes the lead in low light photography and front camera video recording, the OnePlus Nord 2 takes the lead in rear camera video recording and more importantly, color accuracy as well. But yes, the Realme 9 Pro Plus definitely has the advantage of being the more inexpensive option out here. As for the Nord CE2, it has a very average set of cameras and you have to temper your expectations out here if you're considering this phone because it is obviously the most affordable one of the three phones available. If Realme had paid more attention to color accuracy and the right implementation of optical image stabilization and EIS in video recording with maintaining the good quality as well, then this would definitely be the undisputed camera champion under Rs 30,000. But alas, that is not really the case. So yeah, so this was our full camera comparison of these three phones. I hope you guys found this insightful. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about it. Until next time, this is Eshad signing off. Keep tracking and stay safe.